Hey guys, I hope you all are having a great day. My name is Sarah Roten. I am a Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus, and I'm excited to come and talk to you guys today about something that I'm very passionate about in the business side of Plexus. One of the things that I was racking my brain trying to figure out what to come talk about that I'm passionate about is planting seeds. That's something that we can do even in the seasons of struggle with our business. It's something we can do when we're on fire and have full momentum. It's something that we can always be doing. So here are some tips and some ideas from me on building and planting those relationships and seeds. So the first one is, I think it's really important to constantly show through your social media, through your daily lifestyle, your passion for the products, your passion for the company, your passion for the business, your passion for life. Your passion is going to feed those around you. And so if you're giving off this vibrant, exciting, positive, encouraging passion, people are going to be intrigued and interested. If you're negative and you're kind of down all the time, people tend to want to scroll past. We already have so much of that in our life that I think people are looking for excitement, passion, fun, encouragement, things like that. So that's the first thing. So the next thing is being vulnerable and transparent. And that is really hard, especially for me. I'm constantly worried, even doing a video like this, constantly worried what people are going to think. Are they going to think I know what I'm talking about? Are they going to think I'm, crazy? Like, what are people? So being vulnerable and transparent, I think, is really key. Staying true to who you are is vital in this business, because that is where, to me, people are going to see the truth behind everything. Are you being yourself? I know that I have, so my sister is a diamond ambassador, and I felt like for so long I had to be just like her so that I could get where she was. Or we all follow amazing people who are these incredible jewels that have this outstanding success. All of my upline, all the way from my sister Andrea to Rosalind to Celeste to Jen and so forth. They're all these extremely successful, exciting people to watch at that. And so you kind of feel this weight of, who do I need to be? There's so many personalities that are so well known in our company that we all tend to want to think, okay, if I do a little bit more like that, then people will want to watch me more because I love watching this person. But I think what happens is you transform really who you are, and your friends and your family kind of take a step back because they don't know who that person is. So I think it's really important to stay true to who you are and be transparent and vulnerable. And with that comes sharing your life, not necessarily all of the negative things that are going on in your life. Sometimes it's better to remember that our social media pages and what we're sharing when we're out and about in the community is a representation of who we are, but it's a representation of our businesses. My personal Facebook page is no longer just my personal Facebook page. It's also my business page. It's where I'm sharing about my business. It's where I'm building my business. So I have to think about that when I'm posting things. And I know that can be hard. I've been with a company for a little over 4 years. And 4 years ago, I actually went through a really rough divorce. And most people did not even know I was going through that, because I really did not share that aspect of my life, because it was so hard and so personal, but it could get really ugly really fast. I didn't share that on Facebook. I later did discuss it, but I'm very cautious in what I talk about. And I think that's something that's important, is remembering that it's okay to talk about things that are hard in our lives and things that are hard, but not inundating your social media with just those negative things, because people will tend to kind of flush that out. But staying true to who you are and saying, this is who I am, this is what I'm going through, and this is what I love in life. So I love being able to talk about the products, but I feel like with planting seeds, something that's really important is to focus more on the lifestyle. Sharing the lifestyle changes that you're making. If all we talk about is Plexus, then what we tend to do is say we're not really changing our lifestyle, we're just trying to sell something. And so it's really important to me to talk about the different things that I'm eating. And being conscientious of the fact that sometimes those may not be the best choices, maybe not posting those, but sticking more to things like the new healthy things. Or when I do posts where I'm trying to get a lot of interaction with my audience, I tend to sometimes stir up excitement with what are some new ideas. I don't know everything. Even as a certified health coach, I don't know everything. What are some good, fun recipes, you guys, that are healthy, and clean, and I'm dairy free, so that are dairy free, things like that. So knowing your who you are, and then knowing that you can't just talk about products. Another thing is, if you want to talk about the incredible things that our products are doing, I would do a lot of research on the individual ingredients and talk about those ingredients, because I think that's really important, is to focus on the little things that make Plexus different, because that's our ingredients, and I think that's huge. So I love to talk about, I know people will post about magnesium, or they'll talk about the different green tea extracts, New Zealand blackcurrant, things like that, that are things that are in our products, but we want to discuss them on those levels and talk about the benefits of those things in our lives. The other thing that I think is really important is to share your journey from the get-go. When we first started with Plexus, my sister and I started pretty close together, a little over 4 years ago. And I remember at the time we had really no resources. We were really winging it for the most part. For those of you that were ambassadors, then you know what I'm talking about. It was really hard because we didn't have all of these amazing resources that we have now. We definitely didn't have any studies. We didn't have any, clinical backing. We didn't have really anything that we have today. All we had was our stories, and so many of us were so new that we didn't even know a lot of ambassadors. So it was kind of one of those. I actually did not even get to try products until almost 3 weeks into my Plexus journey, because the shipping was behind or whatnot, but I had never even tried the products. But I was building my business. I was sharing my excitement for what I knew these products could do and would do and had done for other people. So I want to encourage you that just because you're brand new doesn't mean you can't share these things. Specifically, what are the ingredients in our products and why are they important in our everyday life? So I think that's really important, and not selling people. I think that people's huge misconception of network marketing tends to be that we're salespeople, and we're not necessarily selling products. We're selling a lifestyle. We're sharing products, but the lifestyle is what we're really ultimately trying to share with people. The products are incredible. The company is incredible. The compensation is unheard of. I mean, the compensation plan is unbelievable. So sharing little tidbits of all of those. I think it's important too for you to share the business side of it, not just the products. If you take a picture every single day with your pink drink, and it's the same picture of you with your pink drink or you working out in the gym every single day, people will become accustomed to seeing that, and they're going to scroll past it. So I want to encourage you to change it up, change things up, and don't just talk about Plexus. Don't just talk about your lifestyle change. If you've got kids, share your kids. If you're traveling, share your travel. People want to really see what's going on in your life. If all you're doing is just Plexus related, people are going to tend to just block you or scroll past you because they're seeing it so much that it becomes overwhelming for them. The next thing is not doing paragraphs and paragraphs of what these products are and what they do. Intrigue people. Make posts that make them want to ask you questions. If you post long paragraphs of any kind, no matter what it's about, people tend to scroll past it. Even for me, if someone's posting even about something personable in their life, if it's really long, sometimes I tend to scroll past it. So I want to encourage you to, when you are posting about products and ingredients, leave it where people are wanting to ask you questions. Don't give them everything. Let them come to you and say, okay, so tell me a little bit about this, or tell me a little bit about that ingredient, or where I see you're talking about this ingredient. Where are you getting that? Where are you getting that in your diet or in your supplementation? I think that's really, really important. And when you're winning things and earning things and going on trips and attending convention, let people ask you questions. The more questions they ask, the more you're going to have an opportunity to talk to them than if you're just giving it all to them all at one time. The next thing is when you're planting seeds, I think it's really important to continue to build relationships, create relationships, make new relationships, and nurture the relationships that you have that are non-plexus. My sister and I were kind of laughing about this the other day. We tend to become very close to our plexus people. We have so much in common. We have a lifestyle in common. We have all these fun, exciting things in common. We travel, so we have that in common, and we're traveling the same places, so we see each other. But it's really important that we continue to build those relationships with our non-plexus people. We don't want to seclude them or make them feel that they're no longer valid or important in our lives just because they're not taking these incredible products or part of this amazing business. So I think it's really important to nurture that, because you never know when or if that person may decide, you know what, I kind of do want to give this a go. But if you've brushed them off because they're not a part of it early on, that I would venture to say you're probably not the person that they're going to come to. I think that's part of being vulnerable with people, is allowing them in your lives and kind of keeping your lips zipped and not spewing plexus on them all the time. Maybe even just not talking about plexus with those people. Let them see it through your lifestyle and not necessarily through your words. I'm looking at some notes. I don't forget things I wanted to share. Okay, and then the last thing that I wanted to say is with planting seeds. I think it's great to talk to people about plexus, and sometimes you'll plant that seed and reach out to people. But then what happens is a lot of times they say no, or they're not interested at the time, or they have, whatever's going on, or they can't afford it, or whatever. And we tend to say, oh, okay, well, thanks anyway, or I'll follow up with you. And then we never do. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty as charged of that. There are people I talked to 4 years ago, I reached out to, and at the time they shot me down so hard, so fast, that I never really wanted to talk to them again. Personally I did, but not about plexus, because I didn't want to get that same response. So equipping yourself with how to follow up with people and when to follow up, I think is really important. Follow up to me is key. You're going to get told a lot of times no by the same person before they finally come around and say, okay, let's talk about this. And I think another opportunity with those people is, especially right now with Joyome, you have an opportunity to come back to all these people who have said no to you for supplements for all these, months or years or weeks, however long you've been with the company, for me, years, and say, okay, I know you weren't super intrigued by our amazing supplements. However, let me tell you just a smidge about this. If I just send you a sample, will you just give it a try? Just give me feedback, or message them and say, hey, I know you've expressed me, you're not really that interested in plexus, but we just launched this new skincare and I absolutely love it. Will you just try it if I send you a sample and just give me feedback? I'm not asking you to buy it. I just kind of want feedback from someone who's non-plexus, isn't taking our products, something along those lines. Not very many people say no to free. So that would be a great opportunity. So if you have potentials that you think could be business builders or people who could really use and benefit from these products, I think that's a great way to start it, is sending them that. Because it's something different than what you've sent them in the past. It's not another product that they're used to. It's something totally different. So that's just a little bit about where I come from on planting seeds. I think it is a huge part of our growth in our business, because planting seeds for me is something that starts from the get-go. When you get into a new relationship, you want to shout from the rooftops about this person, and you want to tell everybody how great they are right out the gate. Why would we not want to do the same thing about these amazing products? So you want to do that, but just kind of scale it back just a smidge, because what happens is, just like with a relationship, people are like, tone it down, sister. And so you kind of want to do that same thing with plexus, like be excited and have excitement and share it, but not to a point that it's all you're talking about, because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that friend. So scaling it back just a little bit and keeping those relationships that are non-plexus, I think, is so important, and building them, creating them, finding new ways to plug in. You can find Facebook groups to plug into that are things that you're interested in that are completely non-plexus related. Now, it might have to do with lifestyle change, but not necessarily plexus itself. I think that is so critical to growth, and critical for long-term growth in your business. For your personal business growth is going to be keeping those relationships going, building new relationships, and planting the seeds so that when and if those people become interested, you've kind of already started to build those relationships. So I hope this helps you guys out a little bit. It's something that I'm super passionate about. I absolutely love planting those seeds and watching them grow. And I hope you have a beautiful day and have gotten something out of this video. Have a great day.